Summer has been hot, sweaty, and in a twist, full of surprises, especially when it comes to anime. Previewing the season set up an extraordinary amount of hype and expectations for the new anime to try and match. In a twist, they've not only met those expectations, but exceeded them. I have 36 anime that I try to keep up with, and I've almost succeeded in that, and outside of one anime, and I wouldn't call any of them disappointing, and would go as far to say that every day has something to look forward to. Some days are just so stacked more than others. It's rare for an anime that I consider to be good enough time to have the sword of Damocles looming over them, as I ponder if I should put some on hold, which more often than not means that I will just forget about them and soft drop them. No hero to save them from the eternal purgatory. At least dropped anime have some closure. The second biggest surprise that the summer season cooked for my ginormous taste palette is the animation for my Dress Up Darling Season 2, which might come as a surprise to you. For the record, the biggest surprise was how amazing the visuals and animation are in Watanabe. Us Himedanshis and fellow Himeyoshis are feasting after the disappointing adaptation of Sasakoi. Instantly, I took a special note from the premiere of My Dress Up Darling Season 2 was how much fluid and live the animation felt compared to Season 1, and in my humble opinion, it managed that without losing any of the visual fidelity. You might think that I'm talking about the opening minutes, where Koyo is watching the in-universe anime Tsukiyo no Company, but I felt like Koyo after finishing the premiere. It's also a funny coincidence that My Dress Up Darling opened up with that in-universe anime, and the same week Witch Watch had an episode centered around its own in-universe anime. What a funny coincidence. Marin has never been more alive, and there were certain scenes that blew me away. Take for instance this scene where Koyo and Marin are shouting at each other through a closed door. The way the scene emphasizes whenever either Koyo or Marin are feeling the pressure or dishing out that teenage awkwardness to each other is a sight for sore eyes. You could take these two shots from the anime, black and white them, place in a manga page like so, and I would be making the same comments how expressive the paneling is. Season 1 visually was very pleasing and animated with so much detail, especially whenever the camera was focused on Marin's assets. I was so certain that a different team at Cloverworks was handling Season 2 because how different it feels to Season 1, but I was mistaken, like I usually am with anime production. Quick trip to my anime list and anime news network shows us that the key roles are the same, making Season 2 feel even more of a passion project. This is honestly surprising considering how much Season 1 was used with passion and love. Cloverworks has 3 excellent anime airing this season, and one of the reasons I was so hyped about The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity because it had the team behind Akebi's Sailor Uniform working on it. And I was so certain that it would steal the animation spotlight from My Dress Up Darling and Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus. But after 2 episodes on all of them, I have to say that My Dress Up Darling has been stealing that thunder. Not that it's a competition, there is no reason to be tribal about any anime. I wouldn't even call it the best animation this season because holy shit, this season is stacked in that department. One question you might have is that, hold up, how are you watching Kaoru Hana? Isn't it on Netflix jail? Please look at the pretty flowers and think about happy thoughts as I sidestep that question. More to the point, this talk about the animation and the production is whatever. Is My Dress Up Darling Season 2 any good? Yes, it's really good. If anything, the animation adds a lot to the comedy, and it helps to make the characters feel more than just pen strokes and competently written romance anime characters. I would be very curious to hear the opposite opinion, because in my sphere, all the comments have been very supportive of the change. I especially want to hear if you feel that the tone clashes with the story compared to Season 1. That's enough for today. Go home and be a family man.